Symptoms of a bad oil pump. An oil pump is a mechanical device used in internal combustion engines to circulate lubricating oil throughout the engine's various components. Its primary function is to ensure a consistent supply of oil to lubricate and cool the moving parts of the engine. A failing or malfunctioning oil pump can lead to various symptoms that indicate potential issues with the lubrication system of an engine. Here are some common symptoms of a bad oil pump. 1. Low oil pressure. One of the primary indicators of a faulty oil pump is consistently low oil pressure. The oil pressure gauge on the dashboard may show lower than normal readings, or the oil pressure warning light may illuminate. Low oil pressure can result in inadequate lubrication of engine components, leading to increased friction, wear, and potential damage. 2. Engine noise. Insufficient oil pressure caused by a failing oil pump can result in increased engine noise. You may hear ticking, clattering, or knocking sounds, particularly when the engine is idling or under load. These noises occur because the engine's moving parts are not receiving adequate lubrication, causing metal-on-metal contact and increased friction. 3. Overheating. Inadequate lubrication can also lead to engine overheating. The oil not only lubricates the components but also helps dissipate heat. Without proper lubrication, friction generates excessive heat, which can cause the engine to overheat. If you notice your engine temperature rising rapidly or consistently running hot, it could be a sign of a malfunctioning oil pump. 4. Poor engine performance. A failing oil pump can negatively impact engine performance. You may experience reduced power, sluggish acceleration, or a decrease in fuel efficiency. Insufficient lubrication affects the smooth operation of the engine, leading to a decline in overall performance. 5. Oil leaks. A faulty oil pump can cause oil leaks. If the pump is damaged or its seals deteriorate, it may allow oil to escape from the engine. You may notice oil puddles or drips underneath the vehicle after it has been parked for some time. 6. Illuminated check engine light. In some cases, a failing oil pump can trigger the check engine light on the dashboard. The engine control unit, ECU, may detect low oil pressure or other related issues and generate an error code, prompting the check engine light to illuminate. 7. Intermittent oil pressure. In some cases, a failing oil pump may exhibit intermittent oil pressure issues. This means that the oil pressure may fluctuate or drop suddenly, leading to sporadic symptoms such as engine noise, low oil pressure warnings, or performance issues. These fluctuations can be caused by a variety of factors, including worn internal components, clogs or blockages within the pump, or a failing pressure relief valve. 8. Increased engine oil consumption. A faulty oil pump can contribute to increased oil consumption. Insufficient oil pressure may result in oil not reaching all the necessary engine components, causing excessive friction and increased oil consumption. If you find yourself needing to add oil more frequently than usual, it could be a sign of a problem with the oil pump. 9. Engine stalling or failure to start. In severe cases, a completely failed oil pump can lead to engine stalling or the engine refusing to start altogether. Without proper lubrication, the engine's moving parts can seize or suffer significant damage, resulting in a complete loss of engine function. If the oil pump fails entirely, it is crucial to address the issue promptly to avoid further damage. 10. Visible signs of oil pressure loss. In some instances, you may visually notice signs of oil pressure loss. For example, when you remove the oil filler cap or dipstick while the engine is running, you may observe a lack of oil movement or a weak flow indicating low oil pressure. Additionally, the timing chain or other engine components may exhibit signs of excessive wear due to insufficient lubrication. It is important to note that while these symptoms are commonly associated with a bad oil pump, they can also be caused by other issues within the engine. Therefore, it is crucial to diagnose the problem accurately to determine the exact cause and recommend the appropriate repairs or replacements. Top causes of a oil pump failure. There are several potential causes of oil pump failure. Here are some of the top causes. 1. Wear and tear. Over time, the internal components of an oil pump can wear down due to constant use and exposure to high temperatures and oil contaminants. The gears, rotors, and bearings can become worn or damaged, leading to reduced efficiency and eventual failure of the oil pump. 2. Lack of maintenance. Inadequate maintenance practices, such as infrequent oil changes or using low-quality oil, can contribute to oil pump failure. Contaminants and sludge can accumulate in the pump and cause blockages or increased friction, affecting its performance and longevity. 3. Oil viscosity issues. Using oil with an incorrect viscosity rating can impact the oil pump's ability to circulate the oil effectively. If the oil is too thick or too thin for the engine specifications, it may not flow properly through the pump, leading to inadequate lubrication and potential pump failure. 4. Oil contamination. Contaminated oil can cause significant damage to the oil pump. Particles such as dirt, debris, metal shavings, or sludge can clog the pump's internal components, restricting the flow of oil and causing increased wear or blockages. 5. Overheating. Excessive engine heat can contribute to oil pump failure. High temperatures can cause the oil to break down and lose its lubricating properties, leading to increased friction and wear on the pump. Overheating can also cause the pump seals to degrade, resulting in oil leaks and decreased pump efficiency. 6. Engine component failure. Failures in other engine components, such as a worn-out timing chain or a failing crankshaft bearing, can put additional stress on the oil pump. These issues can lead to increased resistance within the lubrication system, potentially causing the pump to work harder and fail prematurely. 7. Manufacturing defects. Although relatively rare, manufacturing defects in the oil pump can lead to premature failure. These defects can include incorrect assembly, weak materials, or design flaws that compromise the pump's performance and reliability. 8. Incorrect installation. Improper installation of the oil pump can lead to its failure. If the pump is not installed correctly, it may not align properly with the engine components or may not receive sufficient lubrication. This can result in increased friction, wear, and potential pump failure. 9. Improper oil level. Maintaining the correct oil level is crucial for the proper functioning of the oil pump. If the oil level is too low, the pump may not be able to draw in an adequate amount of oil, leading to reduced lubrication. Conversely, if the oil level is too high, it can cause excessive foaming and aerated oil, which can negatively affect the pump's performance. 10. Oil pump drive issues. The oil pump is typically driven by the engine's crankshaft or a separate shaft connected to it. Problems with the drive mechanism, such as a worn or damaged drive gear, timing chain, or belt, can affect the rotation and efficiency of the oil pump. If the pump is not spinning at the correct speed or not at all, it can result in insufficient oil circulation and pump failure. 11. Contaminated oil filter. A clogged or improperly functioning oil filter can contribute to oil pump failure. The oil filter's primary role is to remove contaminants from the oil before it reaches the pump and other engine components. If the filter becomes clogged or fails to perform its function correctly, it can allow contaminants to enter the pump, leading to blockages and potential damage. 12. Excessive RPM. Revolutions per minute. Operating the engine at excessively high RPMs for prolonged periods can place additional stress on the oil pump. High RPMs generate increased oil pressure and flow rates, which can strain the pump's components. Over time, this excessive stress can contribute to wear, reduced efficiency, and eventual failure of the oil pump. 13. Water or coolant contamination. If water or coolant enters the oil system due to a faulty gasket, a cracked engine block, or a damaged cylinder head, it can contaminate the oil. Water in the oil can cause corrosion, emulsification, oil and water mixing, and loss of lubricating properties. This can lead to increased wear on the oil pump and other engine components, potentially resulting in pump failure. It's important to remember that the causes of oil pump failure can vary depending on the specific circumstances and the design of the engine. How to care oil pump. Proper care and maintenance of the oil pump are essential to ensure its longevity and optimal performance. Here are some tips on how to care for an oil pump. 1. Follow manufacturer's recommendations. Adhere to the manufacturer's guidelines and recommendations for oil change intervals, oil viscosity, and oil filter replacement. Using the recommended oil type and changing it at the prescribed intervals will help maintain the pump's efficiency and prevent contamination. Follow a regular maintenance schedule for the entire engine, including the lubrication system. Have the engine inspected by a qualified mechanic at recommended intervals to detect any potential issues with the oil pump or other components. 2. Use high-quality oil and filters. Always use high-quality engine oil and oil filters that meet the specifications outlined by the manufacturer. Quality oil and filters help maintain proper lubrication and protect the oil pump and other engine components from contaminants. 3. Regular oil changes. Change the engine oil at the recommended intervals or as advised by the manufacturer. Regular oil changes help remove contaminants, sludge, and debris from the system, reducing the risk of clogs and blockages in the oil pump. Contaminated oil can lead to pump damage and reduced performance. Regularly check the oil for any signs of contamination, such as metal particles, debris, or excessive discoloration. If you notice any abnormalities, consider having the oil analyzed and change it if necessary. Additionally, ensure that the oil fill cap and oil filter are properly sealed to prevent the entry of contaminants. 4. Check oil levels. Monitor the engine oil level regularly using the dipstick or the vehicle's oil level indicator. Ensure that the oil level is within the recommended range. If the oil level is low, top it up promptly to prevent the oil pump from drawing in air instead of oil. 5. Maintain proper oil pressure. Keep an eye on the oil pressure gauge on the dashboard, if equipped, to ensure that the oil pressure is within the recommended range. If you notice consistently low oil pressure readings, have the oil pump and the lubrication system inspected by a qualified mechanic. 6. Inspect and replace oil filters. Regularly inspect and replace the oil filter as per the manufacturer's guidelines. A clogged or worn-out oil filter can restrict oil flow to the pump and other engine components, leading to decreased lubrication and potential pump damage. 7. Avoid overheating. Prevent engine overheating by maintaining a properly functioning cooling system. Overheating can cause oil breakdown, leading to decreased lubrication efficiency and potential pump damage. 8. Proper installation and alignment. When installing or replacing the oil pump, ensure it is correctly aligned and installed according to the manufacturer's specifications. Improper installation can lead to pump malfunction and premature failure. 9. Monitor oil pressure. Pay attention to any changes in oil pressure while driving. If you notice sudden drops in oil pressure or consistently low readings on the oil pressure gauge, it could indicate a problem with the oil pump. Address such issues promptly to prevent further damage or failure. 10. Avoid cold start abuse. During cold starts, give the engine a few moments to allow the oil to circulate properly before driving off. Cold engine starts put additional stress on the oil pump and other components due to increased viscosity of the oil. Allowing the engine to warm up for a short period helps ensure proper lubrication and reduces wear. 11. Regularly inspect oil lines and fittings. Check the oil lines and fittings for any signs of leaks, cracks, or loose connections. Leaking oil can result in insufficient oil pressure and poor lubrication, potentially leading to oil pump issues. If you notice any leaks or abnormalities, have them repaired promptly. 12. Follow proper storage practices. If the engine or vehicle will be stored for an extended period, follow proper storage practices to prevent oil pump issues. This may include using a fuel stabilizer, ensuring the engine is properly lubricated before storage, and following the manufacturer's guidelines for long-term storage. By following these care and maintenance practices, you can help ensure the longevity and optimal performance of your oil pump, contributing to the overall health of your engine. Remember, caring for an oil pump is part of overall engine maintenance. Regularly follow the manufacturer's recommended maintenance schedule, address any engine issues promptly. The oil pump is typically driven by the engine's crankshaft or by a separate shaft connected to it. It is usually located at the bottom of the engine, inside the oil pan or sump. The pump draws oil from the oil pan and forces it through a network of passages and channels to reach the engine's bearings, camshaft, pistons, and other components that require lubrication. The oil pump consists of several essential parts, including an outer housing, an inner rotor, and an outer rotor. As the pump rotates, the interaction between the inner and outer rotors creates a vacuum that draws oil into the pump. The rotating motion then forces the oil under pressure through the engine's oil passages, ensuring a continuous flow of oil to the necessary components. Oil pumps may also incorporate a pressure relief valve to regulate the oil pressure within the engine. This valve helps prevent excessive pressure from building up, which could lead to oil leaks, damage to gaskets or seals, or even engine failure. Overall, the oil pump plays a crucial role in maintaining proper lubrication and cooling of the engine, contributing to its smooth operation and longevity. That's all we have for you in today's video. It's very good to have you here on our channel. If you liked the video, please smash the like button and do consider subscribing if you haven't already. We hope to see you soon with another video. Until then, stay safe.